It's time for Veterans Issues, the show that brings you information about veterans, military, and their family. Now here's your host, Ken Rollins.
Welcome to Veterans Issues. Ken Rollins here. Today's show is brought to you by the Kia Sports Store. The Kia Sports Store, and this is the last weekend for that 20% off for you veterans, military, first responders. We got back. I got a guest that I want to talk to you about. We're going to talk about the Southern Gospel Weekend. Be right back. Get a pen. Welcome back to Veterans Issues. Ken Rollins here. Today, my guest is Vonda Easley. She's with the group called Hope's Journey. She's been on here before, and got a big event coming up this weekend that I want all of you to know about. Give you an opportunity to hear about it and the details. So welcome to the show.
Hey, Ken. It's good to be back.
How about a hey, y'all?
Hey, y'all. Can you do that too?
Everybody knows, Vonda knows that they're going to hey, y'all.
That's what only usually it's, hey, y'all.
Yeah, I turned on my iPhone this morning. There was Vonda with hey, y'all.
Always.
With a big old roller in your hair.
You don't have to tell everything.
Yeah, I know, but you had a big old roller in your hair. It looked like Miss
Well,
Naughty.
did it work? I was
worked.
fixing it for the show.
You was trying to. She didn't know I was going there, folks.
No, I
How
didn't.
long you been doing this?
Well, I started Hope's
Don't
Journey
tell her,
12 years ago.
12
So
years
for a
ago.
little while I've been doing.
So you started when you was 13.
Haven't been putting on events and working with that for just a few years, but singing in a group and managing a group for 12 years.
Right. So Hope's Journey is made up of.
Well, there's a young man named Chris Clay. He lives over in White Plains, and he's been with me. He was the very first member that joined after my daughter and I started the group. And then I've got a young boy singing bass this year that wasn't with me last year. His name's Jordan Wilson, and we're, instead of a trio, we're now a quartet. And then I have a young girl named Lauren Miller Huckabee who's singing with me. She lives up near Chattanooga, Tennessee.
So that's called a what now? You got that?
We're a quartet, a mixed quartet, I guess.
Okay.
Because we're not all four men, obviously. So I think you call that a mixed quartet.
No, baby, 4 is a quartet. You got 5, right?
No, I got 4.
You got 4. Okay. I was
Unless
counting
you
them.
wanted to join.
I was trying to, but
Oh, okay.
y'all wouldn't let me do George Jones. So
No, we can't let you do George
let's
Jones.
see if we can get the studio to bring up a little bit of. There's a song called "That's God,"
Oh, yeah, it's a good one.
and Chris, I think, is singing on this one.
He is.
And let's just give a little taste of what some of Hope's Journey. If you can get the booth to bring that up and let us get a feel for that.
And it's called That's God. You may have a moment like this where somebody's done something and you look back and said, hey, that was God. Listen.
Many times do you wonder how you made it this far?
That's right.
That's God. When you realize it wasn't as bad as it seemed, that was God. When you were sitting all alone without a friend to talk to, and suddenly a stranger calls with words that uplift you, when it seemed help just came out of the blue, that was God. Oh, that's God, He's walking through my darkest night. His Spirit is descending with power and might, and His love surrounds me and wraps my soul safe and tight. Oh.
That is awesome. I love that harmony, and that's Hope's Journey, and it gives you a little taste of what you can expect when you come out there. Now, we got a big event coming that's March 10th through the 12th. Is it Civic Center this year?
Oxford Civic Center. Hope's Journey is only one of the groups. We have 37 gospel music groups that are going to be there. That's a lot. You have to take your shoes off to count that high. But listen, it's going to be awesome. A lot of the groups that were there last year, there was a group from Gadsden called Exodus that you really loved.
Love them.
They're going to be back, and we're going to get Pat Barker down there. You know, he's an Oxford boy, and we can't do anything in Oxford without Pat. And then Parker Jonathan. Parker used to sing with the Kingsmen, and for years and years he was with them, and now he has a group with his wife called the Jonathans. They live over in Carrollton, Georgia, but it's going to be a great event. We want everybody to come back and be there. We had a great crowd last year.
I know you did. I was there.
It was great.
I've never been to one of them, but you talked me into going, and I was so blessed by I mean, it is not just gospel. It's going to church.
It
You go
is.
to church.
It is.
And I've seen people that well, I had never seen you in a church or nothing, but they were there.
That's right.
And they were blessed with that.
Sometimes if you do an event in another location, people that won't go into a church will come there, and we don't even charge them to come.
You're talking about Jeff Foxworthy. They'll give you another word you just use,
What?
and I use it too. It's N-O-X-F-O-R-D in Oxford. Where are you going?
In
Where's it
Oxford.
at?
Yeah,
In Oxford.
That's right.
In
Kind
Oxford.
of like Mama and M's.
Mama. Well, you remember, you could use that in Oxford.
Yes, that's right.
Down here in Oxford.
I love it because I can use it here, Ken, because you understand me.
Yeah, I do. Well, I don't know if I like that or not. I'm going to think about that. Yeah. They were the group, the Williams, I remember.
Oh, yeah, they're from
out
Wetumpka.
of Oklahoma. Okay.
Wetumpka, Oklahoma. That's where they're
And
from.
they got a record in the charts, and you got a record in the charts, am I here?
The Williamsons had a #1 song recently, not
Really?
just in the charts. And our song is number 37. And it's
With a bullet?
with a bullet. Yeah. Oh,
Yeah, I
yeah.
used to promote records, and if it was in Billboard with a bullet, that meant it's still going.
Right. Now, it was number 37 in the Singing News. We just found out about that yesterday, but we were number 6 in the Scoops magazine. And Scoops magazine will be there and helping represent the convention, and you'll be able to hear all
I'm
about
gonna
them.
I'm gonna give you a phone number to call.
Okay, do it.
I got to give it to these folks here.
All right,
You know
give it to them.
You-
You think I know it?
256-831-2191 if you want accommodation. This is where everybody's staying in the hotel, right?
That's it. Sleep in.
256-831-2191. How can they get in touch with you if they need some information?
They can call me about anything. We are doing, even though we're doing the general admission is free, we have VIPs this year,
know it.
and that's the chairs that are in front of the stage. So if you would like to be a VIP, there is a small charge for those, but you will have a button, and you wear that for the whole event. And in your seat when you get there at night, you'll have a bag.
It's good for 3 days.
Yeah. You'll have a bag in there, and in that bag will be a free CD, maybe free concession stands, all kind of stuff for our VIPs. And if you will come, you'll get one for free. I'll buy your VIP badge.
It's
But
so
it's going to
nice.
be fun. But they
Oh,
can
I
call me
probably-
about anything, whether it's a VIP badge or if they want to know just who's singing
What's
and
the
when.
phone number?
256-310-7892. Get your pen.
256-310.
That's right. 7892.
7892. Call Vonda if you got any questions about that. Now, they said it's free unless you're going with the VIP
That's
thing.
right.
And but I'm going to tell you that I just went down there. I didn't know what to expect. And that's where I saw the reenactment of the raising of the flag for Iwo Jima. And I booked them later. We had it up in Centennial Park. But it was such an awesome event. I think a lot of people gave their life to God during that 3 days.
That's right. They did.
Yeah,
And that's what it's all about.
Oh, yeah.
It's so much more than a convention. We say it's an experience, and we want people to come, but most importantly, we want to uplift Jesus Christ while we're there. And we have so many fun things that we include the audience. One is midnight prayer. We get together at midnight and pray. And so
We're down to less than a minute, but I wanted to say, if I come down there, I want you to put them onions up.
Okay, you
Because
don't want any
somebody was
onions.
peeling onions, and I'd
they
get
made you
misty
cry.
eyed.
It wasn't the onions that
It
made
wasn't
you
the
cry.
onions?
No, it wouldn't.
Well, let me say it was onions. How's that?
You got a little dose of the ghost.
I got something, but I'll tell you, it was a blessing to say
Well,
the
thank
least.
you. I'm glad you had
And,
fun.
I appreciate it. Well, that's March the 10th through the 12th down at the Oxford Civic Center. Free, or unless you go with the VIP. And I'm going to tell you something, folks. If I ever give you any advice on here, this is something, I don't care what denomination you are, even if you're not
That's right.
a denomination, you need to go in there and sit in the back, the Baptist seats if you want to, and you're going to be blessed. And I promise you'll thank me later. So that's the date, March the 10th through the 12th, the Southern Gospel Weekend at the Oxford Civic Center. See you there. We're going to be right back. I got another guest I want you to meet. Welcome back to Veterans Issues. Appreciate Vonda coming on here and doing the thing about the Southern Gospel. And got another guest now. His name is Zach Van Giesen, and he's with the same church that I am, the Iron City Baptist Church. And he's going to talk. We're going to talk about a wild game dinner or wild game supper. Why don't you call it supper? Dinner.
I don't know. This was a big fight among our men's ministry, and the
Was it?
supper crowd won. So
I'll be doggone. If I can get the control room to pull this up, I want to talk a little bit about it with the banner up there, the picture, and we got it up there now. It says Wild Game Supper A lot of people say, well, you want to go out to supper, you want to go out to dinner. We're going to call it dinner or supper either way. And it's the 27th at 4:30 p.m. out at the Iron City Baptist Church. Now, if you've never been to Iron City Baptist Church, you come down 78, turn on Highway 9 like you're going to Piedmont, and there it is on your right. There's a couple miles up the road. Now, they're going to give away some guns. You said they gave away about 7 last year.
That's right.
Wow. And you got all activities start at 4:30 for kids activities. You got archery, rod and reel casting, BB gun shoot, supper at 6 p.m., then wild game supper, and live entertainment. And that's what I want to talk about. I've never been to one of these, so when you say wild game, that consists of?
Yeah, so we'll probably have, no doubt we'll have deer. Obviously, that's very popular. A lot of our guys at our church hunt, myself included. We'll have some squirrel dumplings. We'll have all kinds of different fish, fresh caught fish.
Yes, folks, he said squirrel dumpling.
That's right. And rumor has it, in years past, they have done raccoon. I don't know if that's coming back again around this year, but we'll see. But it'll be good food. We've got some guys that they spend all day that Saturday preparing the food. It'll be smoked and barbecued and fried and tacos. And last year they made egg rolls out of deer meat. And it's a great variety. And a lot of the ladies in our church make desserts, homemade apple pies.
Not wild.
No, they ain't nothing wild about it, but it tastes good. And so the whole church gets involved. And it's a great event for our community, and so we're looking forward to it. And you know, we want people in our community to have a positive experience, you know, at church. You can probably know that there's lots of folks who may not have had positive experience at churches, and you know, we can't help that if that's what happened in the past.
Absolutely.
But we want to be a place in our community where people associate, of course, us with the gospel, the good news that Jesus is the Savior of the world, but that we can have fun too, that we can enjoy God's creation and that we can fellowship with each other. And so that's what this event is about. And so that's why we want the folks to come.
It didn't take me long to find out that, you know, my daughter and I, we had been searching for the right church for a few years. And when we found Iron City, we knew that there was no doubt that morning, that first morning, that when we met the people there. It wasn't a building. It was a people, and they every Sunday it's the same thing. They don't short me. They act like they're glad to see you. But back to this with the children again. What do you hope to do with this? Is to show the children how the outdoors can be fun and not just to sit there on a video machine?
Yes, I credit my upbringing in hunting and fishing, honestly, with keeping me out of a lot of trouble.
Yeah.
And my father did not grow up hunting and fishing. One of his coworkers, he used to work for a company called Lockheed Martin. I think you might have heard of them. They do a lot of work with the military. And one of his coworkers, before I was born, got him into hunting and fishing. And so ever since I was a little child, I was involved in that. He'd take me scouting, you know, before the deer season started, even before I could shoot a gun and all that kind of stuff. Now I have 2 sons, and I'm so excited about being able to take them here in the next few years. But we want kids, like I said, a positive experience with our church, but also a positive experience in the outdoors. You know, we're in a rural community. It's a very important part of life in our community. It's an important part of the lives of many of the men and even some women in our church. And so we want to connect kids. That's why we're doing the rod and reel casting and the BB gun shoot. I know you're working, trying to get with the game wardens to maybe bring their shooting trailer up too.
Anybody in the game wardens, people around here from our district here in Calhoun County, I'm trying to get the shooter's trailer so these kids can land. But you know, you can teach a child so much to go out in the woods and sit and wait, be quiet so you can get a squirrel, or to go rabbit hunting and to be patient enough to let the dog bring a rabbit back around to you. There's so much that a kid can learn, not just about how to kill animals, but about being patient and being, you get to be in charge of something. I mean, if you can bring down your own supper and sit there and watch it being made. Now, you didn't say anything about rabbit. Did anybody bring a rabbit?
There will be, yeah. We have several guys in our church that do hunt rabbits with beagles. And so I think last year they fried some rabbit. They made some rabbit dumplings too with the squirrel dumplings.
Rabbit hunt?
I have never been.
I had a fellow I used to hunt with. He had dogs, and the dogs would jump a rabbit and go off, and you hear them go way off in the thing. Well, I'd take off and try to get down there and head them off.
Yeah.
He would stay right there, but he knew that eventually that rabbit would come right back there.
Really?
And as I'm way down there in the bush, briars, I hear
Getting
boom,
all tore
come
up.
back there, go back. There's a rabbit. Yeah, got it. And I see turkey and stuff. There may be somebody that's got killed a.
We will.
Yeah,
We
From the
will. I'm
control
actually
room,
bringing
I said
some
that
turkey
from
myself.
the control
So.
room, somebody said, "You got any wabbits?"
Anyway, is it wabbit season or duck season? Which is it? We don't. It's
I
all
don't know.
season.
I just heard from the control room through my ear that we wouldn't know if it's going to be wabbits. But now these guns that are going to give away, they're door prizes or what?
They are. So, of course, this is a free event. There's no charge, and there's no, you don't have to enter to win and all that kind of stuff. You just got to be present. And so what we'll do is we'll have the folks fill out a very simple card, name, contact information, that kind of stuff, and we'll use that to, draw the winners. And our goal this year, honestly, is to give everybody something. Maybe not, of course, a gun, but we've got some stuff for the kids we're going to be giving away.
Let me talk to the folks that's not members of the church
Yeah,
out there watching the
of
show.
course, yeah.
This is the phone number I want you to call, 256-405-6806, and that's Zach. Call that number, 405-6806 with a 256, and tell him if you got something you want to bring. If you just want to come be a part of it, you don't have to be a member of the church. You don't have to be a member of any church. This is something to come and fellowship with people.
Also, Ken, if we've got any business owners who want to donate anything, we, of course, at church event, our church is not a platform for advertising.
Right.
However, at the
where-
Wild Game Supper, of course, we will tell them about the business. We will let them
Right.
put up a little, display or some such thing during that event.
Right.
And so, we're soliciting donations for this event in particular. So if you got any folks out there who want to donate, get in touch with me as well.
Yeah,
So,
if you got firearms, you got a pawn shop or something like that, your sign can be placed there, and people
That's right.
will say, they did something good for the community. And this is an awesome deal. I just stumbled into it, and now I'm part of it, and I'm looking forward to it because I've never been to one. And when you said deer meat, I've had as I got older, I get to where I don't even have a taste for any kind of wild meat, but I'll probably try that.
yeah.
Because
Well, some of our guys can cook it real good. So,
Can they?
yeah, yep.
all right, that's going to be now the children that want to participate they have to be there so this is 4:30. What time should they be there?
Yeah, between 4 and 4:30, get there. We'll have all these things, like you said, archery, rod and reel casting, BB gun shoot. We'll have some trophies displayed that they can look at and that kind of stuff. And that gives them about an hour and a half, to do those things and to just have fun and enjoy the time. And then, like you say, at about 6 o'clock, we will get started with supper, and we're going to have some music. And then one of our other pastors is going to bring a message. And
I'm gonna have
then
my
we'll do
track,
our door
I'm gonna
prizes.
have my
So-
track chair there, the one that most of my viewers have seen. My track chair looks like a tank, and I may let one of the kids ride it. Zach,
deal.
I appreciate you coming
Yeah,
on,
thank
man.
you, Ken.
This is great
enjoyed
stuff
it.
here for the community. And I'm gonna get old Cody Hale on here. We're gonna talk about some stuff. I really like the message that the church has got, and we can't get too much of it. We got to go to a break. Come back. I got news that you can use. Be right there. Get that pen. Welcome back to Veterans Issues. Ken Rollins. We got something I talked about last week. I got my phone ring off the hook, and I couldn't help people because I didn't know the information that I just put some information out there about some jobs that are available at Anderson Army Depot in Fort Rooker. And I got buku calls. So if you're one of those people that call and you're watching today, get your pen ready. This is where the pen comes in handy. Here's the numbers to call. 504-302-2640 or 504-229-8760. 302-2640, 229-8760 is Kimberly Slippy. Kimberly she's got 170 plus jobs available in the Anniston Army Depot and Fort Rooker area. These are construction jobs, electrical jobs, technical jobs. They need 10 construction foremen, 20 construction lead men, and 150 to 170 semi-skilled construction workers. Folks, that's good stuff. And what it is, it's building solar energy for these two locations. So, and some of it has some traveling involved in it. So that's the numbers that a lot of you call me about. And one of the things that I know you're watching the show when I get those calls because everybody's excited about jobs, and I'm glad to give you that information. Remember the parking for the VA hospital over in Birmingham, 2415 7th Avenue South. 2415 7th Avenue South. Put that in your GPS because that's where the new one is. In a couple weeks, I'll have the new director, or the director rather, not the new director. I'll have the director down here talking about the new clinic and the women's clinic and all the things done. And I got to remind you again, they just did a kidney transplant at the VA over there. And it's successful. To have one of our VAs that's that good doing those kind of things. Remember too, 22 veterans. Remember that number 22. 22 veterans took their life yesterday, and 22 veterans will take their life before you go to sleep tonight. That's awful that we have that. And there's reasons for that, and the public can help on it. And I'm going to be talking about that more here as we go, having guests on here. Remember to get there. I told you about the Kia stores. 20% off of the parts and labor. It ends February the 28th. The 20% off if you're a veteran, a law enforcement, EMTs, anything, first responder. And as I told you before, Senator Ward has dropped that part about the veterans of that earmarking bill. And we are going to break ground hopefully next week on the law enforcement memorial that I've been talking about on here for 2 years. We're gonna break ground on that. We're getting ready to do that in the next couple of months. I hope that we'll have the law enforcement memorial for the whole state of Alabama going to be located up here in Anniston, and we've got the money thanks to. And I don't want to tell you how you did that. You did it by purchasing the tag we talk about here all the time, that law enforcement tag that you can get when you don't have to be in law enforcement, but it's a memorial tag, and what it says when somebody sees it. Especially law enforcement, when they see that, that's a symbol that you appreciate the sacrifices that our law enforcement give when they die in their line of duty. And that's what gave us the ability, the tag that Chief Partridge designed, that's all over the state now. Some of the funds from that has helped us be able to build that memorial. If you'd like to contribute to that, you go to the Community Foundation, P.O. Box 1826, Anniston 36202. That's where we get the funds to build those other memorials, Afghanistan, Iraq, and the firefighters. So we got to go this week, and this week's salute goes to all the law enforcement officers out there that's taking beatings, and I appreciate them, and we all appreciate them and support them. And we'll see you next week here on Veterans Issues. And I'm gone. We salute.